Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome back to Hearthstone. We're 15 packs down and a handful to go. So we got our first legendary in the last episode, and fortunately it was potentially the worst legendary in the world in Pegel the Darkfisher. However, that doesn't mean that we're going to get disappointed. Oh no. Instead, what this means is that we continue on and we keep looking at our cards, because this is, without a shadow of a doubt, the best bit of the game. So let's grab our first pack and pop it open. So we're starting to see more and more cards now, and we're definitely seeing a fairly good theme going. So, and our first one is actually an epic, so we'll quickly jump past that. So let's have a wee look and see. So the theme of it tends to be that there's a lot of reversed cards, such as the Magma Rager in that Pegels. I suppose it's corrupted or enhanced versions is what we're seeing, I suppose. Twisted versions that the old gods have made in their corruption, I suppose. Unfortunately, the old gods can't make the Magma Rager good. He's still dreadful, as we see, is a free for 1/5. So moving swiftly on, we get the also rather dreadful Grotesque Dragonhawk. So we're actually seeing two of the worst cards in the game, in the Dragonhawk and the Magma Rager, both warped by old gods. Unfortunately, as I said, this still can't make them any good. So this is just far too expensive for what it's worth. I mean, I think for 5 mana you can get 4/5 Harpy, so I'm not really sure why I think the Grotesque Dragonhawk's any good. So this is our rare card, which obviously we don't want to see yet. So let's click on our uncommon. So we get now the very good Darkshire Councilman, free for 1/5, exactly the same here, but with the excellent ability of summoning a minion, gaining +1 attack. So obviously Warlocks would have no reason to play the Amgam Rager at all, because you have this, which is easily better. This is the difference. You make a 1/5 and a 1/5, but just having something here can make all the difference. So that was our epic. So we'll come down and click on our rare and see what we get here. Okay, so let's have a look. Now this is the Demented Frostcaller. It's a 4 mana for a 2/4, so it's a fairly solid body. After you cast a spell, freeze a random enemy. That's good, actually. Obviously it very much depends on what you're freezing. You wouldn't want to be freezing a priest, for example, or another major warlock. But if you freeze their bigger minions, that could be quite good. Yeah, so that's a good card. Well, it's an okay card. You maybe would be playing this in a freeze-based deck though. So we're already towards the end of our first pack. We've gone through quite quickly, but that's what happens when you get to see them. I'm trying to work out what actually the Demented Frostcaller is. I can't really work out. Is that a dwarf? I'm not sure. It's got a big beard anyway. So we'll quickly just jump back up and I get distracted. Now we've seen a couple of the forbidden cards. Is this a follow-up one? Alright, let's have a look here. So there's a Warlock, Renounce Darkness, 2 mana, interesting. Let's read and see. Replace your hero power and Warlock cards with another classes. The cards cost 1 less. Alright, so you're still getting the neutral cards, such as your Rager and your Dragonhawk here, but if you were to have a Darkshire Councilman, for example, and if you're hearing anything in the background, it's a motorbike, I do apologise. If you have your Darkshire Councilman, it's got to replace it with another card from, to say, Warrior, for example, but it would only be 1 mana less. I can't really see that being anything more than a bit of fun, being fair. You wouldn't build a deck, then scrap it happy through a game, so it's a bit of fun, I suppose. I mean, not everything has to be, you know, immediately best card in the game. You know, you're kind of seeing your good cards here, your meta cards, so to speak, ones that'll appear in the end game, your okay-ish ones, and your dreadful ones here, so you do get a mix, and sometimes it's a bit of fun, isn't it? This could be good for tavern brawls, actually. So, let's grab our second pack. Watch it spray its goo all over the place. And open our first one. Oh, that's quite good. 3 mana. The Twilight Flamecaller. Battle Cry. Deal 1 damage to all enemy minions. It's a 2/2. Now, what makes that good is that it's basically, you know, doing damage to all enemy minions. So there you go. For example, if you get the Flamecaller, which is a 2/3, deals 1 damage to a random character, enemy character, so it could be the enemy, but this is actually doing damage to everything. I really like this card, actually. I think that's a very, very good card. It's probably rubbish, but it's an inbuilt Arcane Explosion into a 2/2 body. I don't see any reason why you'd ever use Arcane Explosion now. Alright, it's a good card then. So, let's open up our next one. Ooh, let's have a look. 3 mana, a Squirming Tentacle, 2/4 taunt. So it's a junior Senjin. They're a 3/5 for 4. This is a 2/4 for 3. Should trade up against most 2 mana minions if they're a 3/2, that is. It's unless there's a tentacle, but then, you know, themed deck. For your 3 mana, you're maybe not necessarily going to be using it a whole amount, but it's a solid enough taunt. I think it's automatically better than, I think there's an Ironback Patriarch. It's a Gorilla. It's a 3 mana for 1/4 taunt, so I would definitely replace that if for some reason you ever used it. But it's maybe useful somewhere. So we'll move on to our next card, which is the pretty decent Darkshire Alchemist, 5 mana, 4/5. Again, it's a 1 mana more for your 5 health. So it's a decent enough card, solid body. You're at your 5 mana mark, so you want to have impact on a card at 5 mana. This gives you the body. What more can you say? So we're on to our last uncommon card. Let's turn this one over and we get another Squirming Tentacle. So again, we've just seen this here, 3 mana for a 2/4. A taunt, you know, you might trade off, it might slow down things. It's pretty decent, it's okay. Again, as I said, it's nothing special. So we've now got uncommon here, so let's just click them. And we have the Darkshire Librarian. We've seen this one 3 times now. All 3 times I still can't work out what's the use of it. Unless your hand's dreadful, you've got a really, really bad hand, you're sort of cycling it out, but I think it would be a good card if it was actually, you know, a golden one. It's a nice artwork, it's nice kind of drawing here. It's got technical snake type body, I think. Suppose that's about all it's got going for it. On to the next one. So this is pack number 3, which means we start all the way down here, and if we click on it, we get Nizov's first mate. So we've seen this guy before. He's a 1/1 pirate for 1 mana, but gives you a 1/3 a weapon. Again, that's pretty good just to help destroy and get rid of any small minions that are popping out. You get your 1/1, you can trade off, and you got your weapon there to take out the enemy's 1/1. Pretty good to get, you know, for removing smaller minions while you wait to get a bigger weapon. So I think this is actually an okay card. Again, not special, not great. It's a solid control card at the start of the game. More importantly, it actually gives warriors a good card to play turn 1. So our next card, let's see here. Oh, this is a new one. Infested Tauren. So it's 4 mana for a 2/3 with taunt. Death Rattle, summon a 2/2 slime. So it's a scaled down piloted shredder. It doesn't summon, no, that slime doesn't have taunt. 4 for 2/3, so your piloted shredder was a 4 for 4 free, and you got a random 2-cost minion, which is probably like a 2/3 free 2. So it's a much scaled down version, not as good. You know, 4 mana, you're getting a 2/2 slime, but that's nothing really to really worry about. 4 mana for 4/5 in stats. With taunt, you know, there's better cards. We've seen better cards already for that value. So we've got the next one up here. That's how we look in this. So yeah, a light in the darkness. Discover a minion, give it +1/+1. Again, you're paying 2 mana for a minion that might, or basically a choice of minions that might be dreadful, although it does get +1/+1, which, you know, might be pretty good for certain combinations. It does seem a rather expensive way to get just a random card, really, that you're not even entirely sure if it's going to be useful. You can't build a deck around this. You're not getting anything out of it, so some cards will let you discover a minion, but you're getting a body from it straight away. This is just giving you something in your hand with +1/+1 to it. So, you know, whether or not it's useful, it's subjective. So we have our rare card here. So obviously we'll skip over that one. And we'll look at our next uncommon. So we see the Hooded Acolyte. It's a really good card for Cthulhu Priests. It's 3/6 for 4, and whenever a character is healed, give your Cthulhu +1/+1. Again, this can be anybody. So even if your opponent is a priest and is healing his minions, or, you know, healing anything, you know, Cthulhu's getting +1/+1. If you do area of effect heal, so, you know, if you're a mass heal sort of thing, then Cthulhu will get lots of +1s. And I bet the shamans who have the healing totem wouldn't want to be playing priests just in case of this. Or maybe it is, you know, fairly dependent, but it's good. It's, again, 4 mana for a 3/6. It's a solid body. Again, as you can see, you're getting a 4/5 for the same mana there. So you're just gaining +1, -1, although it's getting taunt. So it does, you know, you can see it's a good. Now that I'm kind of looking at it, the 4 for 3/6 is good, yeah. I suppose the kind of a value is that once this dies, you've still got something there. So we've got a rare card here, and so let's turn it over. Ah, this is a pirate. It's 4 mana. Your weapons cost 2 mana less. This is going to be useful for rogues and warriors, I guess. Although paladins and shamans can use it, they don't tend to be as weapon orientated with a smaller number, really. So again, you're getting a 4 mana for a 2/5, and as a body, it's there. The good thing is it's actually got a bit of health to make this useful. So you can actually, 4 mana, you're getting a weapon potentially. If you're talking about fiery war axe, and a 2/5 body. So if you have a weapon already there, it's certainly worth it. However, I wouldn't expect this to be hanging on the board for too long, just in case. It's a new card though, it's always nice. I've actually seen some new pirates. I think they're trying to increase the number in the game. So, on to pack number 4. Let's pop this one open, sit back, and take a look. So, the first card is just a normal card. Let's have a look, and it's our little favourite, Respawn on N'Zoth. This guy is just crying out to have a little plush doll made of him, really, isn't he? We've probably talked about this guy quite a lot. He's probably dreadful, but for me, I really like that. You can buff up your minions. Now, if you've got a lot of minions on the board and you're playing this guy, as you say, that Forbidden Warlock card that gave you the minions, you can obviously turn 4, play that, use up all your mana, cast that, and all of a sudden you've got 4 2/2s for 7 mana. It's not too bad, really. So this is a rare card. Let's skip him or her and move on to our top uncommon. So we see the return of the Twilight Flamecaller, a card I really like. Definitely seems to have a lot of good, value there, that he can remove, a number of small minions just by being played. So I think this guy's really good. He's not even expensive as well. Free at 2, a free mana. Yeah, he's going to get destroyed by most things, but your battle cry there is really the effect you're looking for. So we have the Dreadful Dragonhawk. As I said, 7 mana for a 5/5. There's the Harpy, as I said, I want to say it's 5 mana, maybe it's 6 mana, and it's a 4/5 for, Wind Fury, and that never gets played, so I don't know why they'd bother with this unless somebody's maybe wanting to make a Wind Fury deck, and I might, now that I've mentioned it, just to be annoying. But yeah, your 7 mana is just far too expensive. So we'll move down to the final uncommon card, and we get the Squirming Tentacle. Not entirely sure why Squirming Tentacle is taunting and forcing people to attack it. Maybe just because it's, squirming and it's flailing about all over the place. 3 mana for a 2/4. I said it's going to trade up easily against anything like this, but these guys do have effects, and this is just a taunt. If you're building a kind of taunt-based deck, such as some warriors can do, then it might be useful in it, but otherwise it's just a fairly neutral card. It might be one of these ones that appear in arena decks. So we're going on to our final card of this pack, and our penultimate pack in fact, and it's our rare. So while the eyes are watching us, I'm getting quite disconcerted by it. Let's turn it over quickly. And oh, this is a new one. So 1 mana for a 2/1, that's quite good. Well, it's standard, really, I suppose. Selfless Hero. Death Rattle, give a random friendly minion Divine Shield. that could be quite good. Of course, you do need to be careful if you're a paladin you don't already have Divine Shield on the minion. I don't think you can double that up. But you're talking about a 2-1 for 1 mana, so that's immediately good. You can trade up, take something out, and it will, you know, if you're playing a card, so you're playing that on turn 1, you're coining, you're giving, you know, your taunt out, throw this into a mob, and immediately your next one's got Divine Shield and taunt. So, you know, it's got some options. I do like that card. I think it's a good card. Good thing is that it's got an effect, and you see these are effects that are always guaranteed pretty much to fire off unless your opponent's able to clear off, you know, multiple minions and then get to the selfless hero. So you kind of want to make sure this is played down either very early or mid game, where it's a bit trickier to get rid of some minions. And in fact, if you're able to, you know, get some secrets out, you might be able to protect it. So on to our final pack here. Wait for it to burst open and it's goo. And our, oh, that's a rare. And that's a rare. That isn't a rare. So let's turn it over. Oh, this is a new one. 8 mana, okay. Big beastie. 6/10, an Eldritch Horror. It's a neutral, unspecial card. Nothing specific about it. It's big bodied. It will take out a few things. It's maybe kind of got that effect that yes, it's got 10 health, but it's only got 6 mana. So those bigger ones tend to be 7/7s for, or you know, even like a 6/7. So if you take the Boulder Fist Ogre, that's a 6/7 for 6 mana. So yep, for an extra 2 mana, you're getting 3 health. But it's an even trade with that, because that would be 6/10. You know, it's trading to 6/7 evenly. So even putting it as a 7/9 might have been better. But it's just for 8 mana. This is when you start getting into 8 mana range is your legendary range. So you want to be having cards that have an immediate impact on the board, especially if you're spending 8 mana. This guy goes on the board, potentially you're dead before he gets to do anything, and you've just wasted it. So click on our next uncommon, and this is a new one. This is another pretty good one. So it's a Zealous Initiate. 1 mana for a 1/1. Again, we've seen quite a few of these. Death Rattle, give a random friendly minion +1/+1. So again, it's got that similar effect to the Selfless Hero, and there was another card that had a similar sort of effect, where you were able to drop it out, and then second turn, you're throwing this in to get killed or get something, potentially trade up, and that's giving you +1/+1 to a friendly minion. I quite like this. I do believe it could be useful, especially in these zoo decks. Yeah, I like this card actually. I think that could be pretty good. Yeah, the fact that it just does something is what makes it different. You're getting value out of that even when it dies. Whereas this, if it dies, it's gone. It's, there's nothing there. So we have the Eldritch's Horror's friend, the Eldritch Horror. Yep, he's still a big 6/10 body. I think this guy's probably going to be really good in arena decks, just due to the nature of a build. But in constructed kind of formats where you're having specific win conditions and stuff, it's just a big body dropping on and not doing anything. So these are our 2 rare cards. I tend to always go for one discovered first, don't I? Oh wait, no. So it would be this one, because this is the 5th pack. So let's turn them. Okay, let's have a look here. 6 mana for 2/3. It's fairly expensive. Deal 2 damage to all non-Murloc minions. So that's not just, you know, it's, you know, undamaged ones. That's all of them. It's still expensive though, but it's great to try and get rid of a lot of minions on the board. I'm trying to think if it's going to be good or not. It's got its place in Murloc decks, absolutely. You're not going to be playing in anything else though. But yeah, it's definitely a good card for Murloc decks, as it gives you an AoE and a body on the board. So let's turn over our final one. Ooh, it's golden. Let's have a look. This is the Doom Collar. Nice. Battle Cry. Give your Kafun +2/+2. If it's dead, shuffle it into your deck. Ah, interesting. So I'm going to assume that means Kafun, rather than the Doom Collar itself, which would be quite odd. So you're actually wanting to play this after Kafun has been killed, because it brings him back into your deck. That's quite good actually. 8 mana for 7/9. Remember I was telling you about the 6/10 being not great, because you would really want an extra little bit of damage on it. This is perfect. So 7/9 for 8 is a good mix of stats. It's not too low, but it's 7 mana, it's going to get rid of any 7 health. Again, it's got to do straight trade up against things like this as well, of course. But against something like a 7/7, you know, you're taking that out. Yeah, of course, you know, 8/8s aren't going to be, but then now it's Eldritch Horror, so this is straight up better than Eldritch Horror. Plus, it's got the Battle Cry, and of course, even better, this guy's golden, or girl. Well, I think it's a guy, by looking at the lack of. So yeah, the Doom Collar here, golden, very nice, and certainly, if you see this, Doom is coming. Well, thanks everybody for watching. Take care, have a great day now.